Hello, 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 hello. I can't get my necklace together. There we go. Wait a minute. What's going on with my necklace? I wasn't ready for the camera, y'all. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Trying to get this necklace together. Trying to get this necklace together. Uh-oh. I guess that's why I couldn't get it together. How y'all doing? Come on in. It's Dr. Brandy B. Tag all your friends. Tell them we are here and we are talking about taking the work out of homework. That's what we're doing tonight, y'all. We are going to take the work out of homework. I'm here with my little sidekick today. She's here. That's the thing about doing things in the evening. My sidekick is here with me. The boys are at football practice, and so Faith and I get to hang out, and that means that she is a unofficial guest on the show, I guess you could say. And she just left my lap and tore my necklace up. But that's all right. We gonna get it back together because this is what motherhood. This is real motherhood over here. Come on in, come on in. We are taking the work. I think I got it now. We're taking the work out of homework. Yes, yes, yes. Dr. Kenesha Ware Alford is in the building. Hello, Dr. Inkarika. Emma Guali is here. Hello, 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 hello. Come on in. Tag your friends. Let them know we're here. Share the video. Tell everybody that we are where they need to be. We're already here. We're just waiting on them to get here, and they need to get on over here quick so that we can have this quick word, and then we can get on with our Wednesday night activities. Taking the work out of homework. No, I have to share it. Taking the work out of homework. All right. So all this week, we have been here with you all doing the back to school edition of the Focus Corner. Back to school edition. We've been having a lot of fun. I've been having fun. Hopefully you all have been having fun too, doing the back to school edition. All right, let's see. Miss Frida, my sister, is here. Hello, hello, hello. Shelly stuttered. Says, already had one have a meltdown when I tried to explain what homework is. Uh-oh, bless his heart. First days are mentally exhausting. Who are you telling? We are right there together. And the good thing about me is that I know y'all, because I'm a mommy too, with these 3-year-olds, 6-year-olds, and 7-year-old kids I've got over here. So I know exactly what you all are going through and what you are talking about. Come on in. We need to tag some more people. Get them over here. Tell them Dr. Brandy B is here in the building, and she is going to talk about taking the work out of homework. Go ahead and share the video. I think all you need to do somewhere on your screen should be something that says share down at the bottom left. Just tap on that, and then it'll go ahead and go to all of your friends. We are trying to share this love, this knowledge, this information as we are working to take the work rather out of homework. Hello there, Miss Laura Dawn. I need to email you back so I can confirm and we can set our plans and get things going. Mama Rudolph is in the building. Thank you, Mama. She says, Dr. Brandy B, she gives me love and hearts. Love my mommy. Yes, I do. All right, who else is coming in? We've got 9 people. Will there be more? Catherine McMullen is here. Hello. Hello, hello. Latina Woods is in the building. She says hello, and we say hello right back. Kawanda Maxwell Smith. Who else is here? Guys, I have to try to look on both my phone and my computer because my computer does not show everything. But guess what? I figured out last night, y'all, that I can do this right here. Isn't that cool? Look at there. I can bring people up on screen and bring them back. We've got Miss Betty Jeffers in the building. She says hello, and we say hello, hello, hello. We've got Miss Frida. I spoke to her. I'm just using my new feature while we are waiting on about 4 more people to come. Say, come on, so this lady can get started. Come on. Do y'all hear Faith saying mommy in the background? Do you all hear it? Yes, yes, yes. Faith is in the building. Inkarika, Dr. Inkarika. Look at that beautiful picture, y'all, of Dr. Inkarika. And then we've got Dr. Kenesha. Another beautiful picture. Oh, my goodness. My friends are just absolutely beautiful and amazing. Miss Shell Scott Shorts says, hello, Dr. Brandy B and everyone. Looks like she's got some graduates there. We are so excited about graduates. And look at mommy. Look at mommy. Ain't mommy cute? Oh, mommy is so adorable. Yes, she is. Well, we went down instead of going up. We had two to leave, but that's all right. It doesn't stop us. We're gonna go ahead and get started. It is I feel like a celebrity. Dr. Kenesha said, yes, you are a celebrity. Over here with Dr. Brandy B. She says, I feel like a celebrity. Yes. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Hold on, let me see what Faith needs. Yes, Faith. I guess she just wanted to call my name. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm Dr. Brandy B, your triple board certified pediatrician, adult psychiatrist, and child and adolescent psychiatrist. And through my Facebook live stream, Focus on It Friday, through my my show, my summit, right? And I am going to push the date back for Mommy's Time Out. We're going to do it a little bit later in the year, actually the beginning of next year. We're going to do that. The author of the best-selling book, Shine, Understanding ADHD So Your Child Can Be a Star. I'm a mommy. I'm a wife. I'm a physician. I am all of that, okay? But every once in a while, I need some help with homework because guess what? I do not like doing homework, guys. And I was so excited when school was out. In fact, I was more excited than my children were because I absolutely discovered last year that I don't like homework, y'all. I just do not like homework. And so it is one of those things that I won't be changing. And so we're going to have to get with it and do it. Thank God, though, that my husband does it. But regardless of whether or not we want to do it, Dr. Inkarika says, Superwoman, so proud of you. So proud of you, girl. You're a superwoman too, honey. Dr. Inkarika, y'all, worked in New York as a hospitalist, intensivist. She's a pulmonary doctor. Hold on, let me figure out what this baby needs. I'll be right back. Hold on. Now, y'all are not going to believe that baby called me in there and she was screaming. That baby called me back in there to open up a honey bun. Can you believe it? At least she didn't come in here screaming, but she wanted me to open a honey bun. So there you go. Live and in action. You saw me have to go be a mommy. I'm sure y'all have all had to leave a meeting because someone was screaming your name as if death were upon them, and it wasn't. They just needed you to open a honey bun. So I'm back. So homework. We're going to take the work out of it. Now, you all know I love acronyms. Y'all know that, right? You all know that I love acronyms. So let's get busy. H work is our acronym for tonight. H work. Now, the first tip, let's see. Shelly says, what does Shelly say? Shelly says, and this is real life. Love it. Thanks for being real and being you. Listen, Miss Shelly, I have tried to be other people, other versions of me. But guess what? I figured out real quick after trying that about once or twice. I don't know how to be anybody but me. And that would be just insane to come on here and say, these things don't happen in my house, because they absolutely do. Remember, I told you yesterday, I can't even show you that corner over there. If I move this computer just one little bit to the right or the left, you're going to say, oh my goodness, Lord have mercy. What in the world is going on over there in Dr. Brandy B's room? Because guess what? We're just living life over here. This is not a model home or a show home. We have 3 babies and we are living life. And on occasion, we have to stop a live stream and go open a honey bun because we don't know if a child is dying. All right. That's just what we do over here. Keena Bailey, my sissy, is laughing. You didn't have to laugh. But look at her. And she pretty, y'all. But listen, she knows that my daughter, she knows how she knows. All right. Miss Irma Gore says hello, sister. And I say hello right back to you. So let's get into it. H work. We're taking the work out of homework. So H work. Okay. The H is for the hours. Now remember, there are only so many hours in a day. There are only so many hours in a day. Now, if you're like me, you try to work all the hours. You try to study all the hours. You try to, keep as many hours as you can with your kids. And then when you put them to bed, then you really need to go to sleep, but you got to finish up some notes. You got to finish up some, grading some papers. You got to spend time with your spouse. You've got a million things you need to do. And then once you do those things, then you want to get in bed. And what do you want to do? You want to catch Dr. Brandy B, because maybe it's Friday and you didn't catch it on your way home from work, or you couldn't catch it at noon, or she did this crazy thing called the Focus Corner on a weekday, and so you had to do that after you did homework with your kids. And so then you lie in bed and you're looking at Facebook and you're doing all these things, and before you know it, it's 11, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, right? But you still need to get up early because you've made a commitment that this month you're going to work out every morning before you go to work. That means you need to go at 4, because normally you get up at 5 anyway, to leave by 6 to be to work by 7. So now you are tired, right? And so it is with our kids, that there are only certain set hours that we need to be doing homework. Now, preferably as soon as they hit the door, go ahead and do that homework. Those are going to be the best hours. Their brains are still in go mode, still in schoolwork mode. So those are going to be the best hours to get that homework done, even if it means that they're going to have to stop and do piano lesson, do gymnastics, go to football practice, softball practice, whatever, and then come back. The more that you can get before you go to practice, the better off it's going to be when you return. Because now when you return, you're hot, you're sweaty, you're stinky. You need to take a bath, you're hungry, you just don't feel like doing it. And so now we're also running up against bedtime. So those hours really do matter. Remember, again, I've said it several times, we are creatures of habit. And so our bodies get used to those habits that we make. So if we come in and go straight to the computer desk, straight to the computer, straight to wherever it is that we study, then our brains are going to be more accustomed to doing that. So those hours really do matter. Those hours really do matter. Let's see what's going on. Miss Shelley Sutter says, I love it. My house is going to take a month to get back from summer playing. Absolutely, because that has been our routine, doing nothing, being in relaxed mode. And I tried to stay day one. Birmingham City Schools talks about being day one ready. And so on day one, I had them come in and we still went through some motions of them sitting at the table. There was no homework to do, but I still had them to come in and sit there because that is what I need for them to get in the habit of doing. And we started that day one, even though there was really no homework for them to do. Laura says it's great to make that time a routine. Absolutely. So once we make it a routine, it's not a fight. It's not a fight because that has become a part of what is naturally going to happen. You come in, you get your homework, and then we go do other things. And then if we need to, we come back and finish our homework after we've done those things. And like I said, if you're like me, I like a lot of light. You could probably see my ring light right there, right? That ring light is going whether it is daylight, like now, or whether it is nighttime, because I like a lot of light, right? And so we even know that seasonal affective disorder, which is just a form of depression, okay? One of the treatments is light, okay? So we know that there are some benefits of light. It makes you think the sun is up. It makes you think it's time to work. People who work overnight, people who work night shift, people who travel all night, they have to get their body, get their circadian rhythm back into effect, back into the way that it needs to be, because there's something to be said about that light being out. So if we can take advantage of that, we're going to be good. So the H is hours. The H is hours. Great tip. Day one. We got to practice day one. So if school has not started, I can't remember, somebody last night said that their school has not started. In addition to getting your clothes out the night before, you want to day one go ahead and start practicing what your nighttime routine will look like, because just as important as the morning routine is having one at night. Now the W is where. Do it in the same place all the time. Homework really needs to be done in the same place all the time. That is your where. Now, where do you do it? Okay. So if you are my patient, this is not the view that you're used to seeing. My patient see a screen saver, a background screen. Okay. That's what my patients see. So if they were to come on and see this, immediately they would say, oh, you're somewhere different today. I'm not. I'm in the same room. But it is because the place is what they are used to seeing. When they see that screen, they know they have entered the presence of Dr. Rudolph Bowling or Dr. Bowling or whatever it is they call me. If they watch Focus on a Friday, they may even call me Dr. Brady. Okay, when you see me, whether it's the Focus Corner or Focus on a Friday, this is what you see. If you notice that I'm not here, like when I was at the beach a couple of weeks ago, immediately people say, oh, do I hear ocean waves? I see the ocean in your sunglasses, right? That is a thing to talk about. That is a conversation starter because this is not where you are. So before you even say hello to me, you say, oh, where are you? Where? Because where matters. The hours matter, but where matters. Again, it's all about routine. When you're in your place, I have everything I need right here on this desk. Now, don't laugh, Keena, but my mama knows too, my husband too. Everything I need is within arm's reach. I just reach out and it's all right there. It might be falling off, but I know exactly where it is so long as no one has bothered it. That is because this is the place where I do this thing called work. Whatever kind of work it is, this is where I do it. If I'm in the car, I'm on my phone, it looks different, right? I don't have the things around me. I don't have something to hold my phone out. I don't have the computer screen and the computer screen is up. So where matters, we get it ingrained into our brains that when we sit down to do this, and this is the background, something is about to happen. Yes, let's see what else we got. Thank you, Enkarika. She says the H is for hours. That's right. H is for hours. And then the W is for where. Remember, we're using H work as in homework. All right, let's see what Sarah Irma says. My school started today. Yay. We hope you had a great day in the second grade. I started my class off with listening to a story and writing about what they learned today. Absolutely. That is so important. Listening is a skill. Remember, we talked about on Monday, right? When we talked about how to be an effective listener and having those day one conversations with our children. We want to listen to understand and not to reply, right? So she's teaching her students at a very early age, the skill and the art of listening. Very, very good. Exactly where she knows. Absolutely. Keena says exactly where. You might look at it and you might say, I don't know how she finds anything, but I can tell you exactly where it is. I know that there are two $5 bills rolled up in a plastic pillowcase holder. Now, why are they in there? I don't know, but that's where they are. I know that there are two sugar-free Jolly Ranchers in a Ziploc, also with some money, because yeah, this is how I do. Okay. And I know where they are. I know where they are too, right? And so that is important to know your where, to know your where. I know that if I reach over there, there are some scissors in a mug, a coffee mug, because I don't drink coffee, but it makes for a great pencil holder. And so that's where the scissors are as well. I know that. I know that there's a book over there, my Shine book. So if I need to reach it real quick, I know exactly where to go to reach it. It's under a couple of other books, but I know where it is. All right, let's see. Kenesha says, yes, we are too much alike. That is right, honey. But you keep your stuff probably neater than I do. I'm not going to even act like my stuff is neat. I've been trying to get this area clean for a while, right? And I just can't because there are not enough hours in the day, right? There are not enough hours in the day. And I really have to figure out, do I want to go to sleep or do I want to put all these pieces of paper up? And so I go to sleep, right? All right, so we got our hours. We got our W is for where. The O is off periods. Take a break. Now, my schedule is usually such that patients are scheduled back to back to back to back to back. Like tomorrow, Thursdays, I work 7 to 10 p.m. There is no break. But what do I have to do? Because I'm human, every once in a while, I just have to stop, right? So the patients are there, but I may not be because I need a sip of water. I need to use the restroom. And so it is with our kids that when they're studying, we know for a fact that in general, human beings can only work at an 8-hour job, maybe 2 to 3 hours before they need a break. Right? Y'all ever wonder why the breaks are scheduled as they are? Because we can really only work about 2 to 3 hours before we just kind of start to wander off. Now, the child with ADHD, what I say for them is let them work 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. 50 minutes on, 10 minutes off. If you know that your child can only make it 40 minutes, then let's do 40 minutes on and 10 minutes off, and 40 minutes on and 10 minutes off. How are we going to keep up with this with a timer? We're not going to trust them or ourselves to be able to keep up with that time. Certainly not going to trust them because for them, 10 minutes only seems like a second, right? So we've got to have something in place that says ding, 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 it's time to come back. And that is what our timer is going to do. It could be the same timer that we use for the shower in the morning. But me personally, the Dollar Tree or $1.25 tree now, they make amazing timers that work. And so just put timers all over the house. Keep them in your car. If they're talking too much, just set a timer. Now I went off a little bit right there. Let me come on back. But you got to have your off periods. Figure out whatever that length of time is that your child can focus, and then set that as the time that they go. And then the promise for them, the reward for them, is that they get a break. All right. Now, that's your O. Let's see what we got here. So Irma says, yes, I had a great day. I was so excited. Oh, educators been excited. I love it. I have 2 of my former students' children. Wow. They were excited to know I was their children's teacher. 2 generations and going strong. That's absolutely amazing. And we appreciate you. I try to always shout out my teachers and tell them thank you for what it is that you do, because guess what? Without teachers, there would be no physicians. So we appreciate you. All right. So we got our H is H work. That's it. Our acronym is H work. The H is for hours, right? Make sure that you use the best of your hours, the same time every day, the same time every day. The W is where. You want to do it. Where do we want to do it? Do you do it at the kitchen table, right? Do you do it at your desk? Do they have a desk? Do they do it at the dining room table? Do they do it in a closet? Because that's what works for them, because they have a 2-year-old or 1-year-old sister or brother who is making all kinds of noise. Do they do it in the car? Or is doing it in the car really a distraction? And that is not where they do their best work. We need to be aware of that so that we know. And then we need off periods, so that we know when we're going to really, really, really focus in, hone in, get it right. And then, we get to relax. And then we really focus. And then, all right, those are our off periods. Thank you so much, Dr. Encarica, for scribing for me. Let's see what Miss Shelley says. We get maybe 10 minutes, then need a break, but he's only 6. So, we might need a little bit longer than 10 minutes, because I don't know. We may, did he go to any type of formal education? Like, is he in first grade or kindergarten? Because if he's in first grade, I'm interested in knowing how that worked in kindergarten. If he's in kindergarten, maybe he was at home and did not do pre-K. But 10 minutes is a really short time to only be able to maintain focus. But if that's what we are, we've got to work with that until we can do better. Absolutely. Mama says use the bathroom before starting homework. Absolutely. Get those pencils sharpened. Get prepared so that we won't have to get up before our own period ends. I love that. Mama is so awesome. All right. Now, our R. Know what is reasonable for your child. Know what is reasonable for your child. So just like Miss Shelley said, we can't do 30, 40, or 50. We need 10. That is what is reasonable for her child, right? And so if we want more than 10 minutes at a time, we got to do something to get him up to that. So this is where it was right on time. Thank you, Miss Shelley. This is where we need to know what's reasonable for our child, and then we need to act on it. So if your child needs 10-minute increments, then we need an IEP perhaps. We need a 504 perhaps, okay? So that our teachers can know our child can only do 10 minutes at a time, because that is what is reasonable for them. Maybe it is that it is not reasonable for our child to do 4 hours of homework because they're not going to make it. And so our teacher needs to know that, and we need to figure out how can we get them to learn everything that they need to learn in 2 sheets of homework and not 4. So we've got to be honest about what it is that is reasonable for our child. Let's see. Miss Irma says they should read for 15 minutes, review that math for 10 minutes, and rest for 5 minutes. So now we've got 25 minutes and then 5 minutes. That's 30. All right. That's what our second grade teacher says. Second grade teacher says we're going to do 15 minutes, review math for 10, and then we're going to rest for 5. It sounds like the boys are home now. 15 minutes, review math for 10, and then we're going to rest for 5. I like that. I like that. If that is what is reasonable for your child, now if your child can do more, okay, that's awesome. But there we go. There we go. All right, first grade, Miss Shelley's child is in first grade. So they were in kindergarten last year. All right, let's see. Dr. Kenesha, who's also an educator, says display a visual agenda and focus each day/week for all ages. Absolutely. You know, I have had children whose teacher will give them the goals for the week, and the goal may say read 20 pages of this book. And all that child can see is read 20 pages. Well, in fact, if we took those 20 pages and divided them up by 4 nights or 5 nights, then it's a much more manageable and reasonable amount of pages to read in a night than it is that number 20. So I've had those parents to say, look, do not show them. And we get with the teacher and say, this child cannot tolerate seeing the whole week in review. This child just needs one day, and it works out that way. But having some goals, having a visual to help them stay on task is absolutely fantastic. And Karika is giving us summaries again. Miss Kawanda says such good advice. We appreciate you, girl. You've been hanging in there with us, and we appreciate you for doing so. Shelly says he did not have homework last year other than reading. We will add a minute or so as we go. Absolutely. Our kids had homework in kindergarten, y'all. I think that's why I hate it. Oh God. And it would be like so much homework. So after I was done working, I know they had to be tired. So yeah, so this is brand new for you all. So yeah, brand new, day one, ease into it. Really important right now to just start the pattern. Start the pattern. Get the hours, get the where, set that template for that on and off period. Y'all are going to be fantastic. All right, Dr. Nkarika has summarized for us our hours, our where, our off periods, and what is reasonable for your child. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, Keena says, could it be overwhelming for some? Absolutely. Homework can absolutely be homework. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Homework is a review of what was taught in class. If you were not paying attention during the view, then the review is extremely difficult. And so, yes, it's overwhelming. Sometimes the volume of the work can be overwhelming. Sometimes the hour of the work can be overwhelming. So imagine kids whose parents have to work late and that child stays in aftercare to 5:30. And this aftercare does not, help with homework. So now you got a child getting home at 6 o'clock. They've been from their home from 6 or 7 in the morning to 6 at night. They're exhausted. Now they've got to sit down and do homework. Okay, so that may be a problem. Then if you got a kid that's just a kid who's neurotypical. Let's say you have a child with ADHD. Their medicine has long worn off. And so now you are removing them farther and farther from the view and asking them to review. So there might be some tantruming going on. Absolutely. Shelly says, what would be a normal time to be able to work first grade 6-year-olds ADHD with meds, but it's worn off by 3:30? So get into a medication question now. So that is why a lot of kids have boosters. Some parents call them boosters. I just call them a second dose of a short-acting medicine, because we know that despite what that package insert says, most of those long-acting medicines at best are only going to get a kid 6 to 8 hours. So what does that mean? It's going to get them through school, the school day. But there's still more to be done, and not just homework, right? Homework is but one thing that child needs to focus on. If you want that child to clean up their room, they need to focus. If you want that child to clear the table after they eat, they need to focus. If you want that child to wash all the dishes and rinse them and put them away, that requires focus. So now we've got all these different reasons to fight, and it is because the child cannot focus. Great question. Hopefully that answered that. Let me know. Hello, my friend, Miss Kalu. I talked with Colin's teacher, and we came up with a plan to do small increments and have some assignments over the weekend to help him with his anxiety about completing assignments. Absolutely. And I absolutely love when teachers agree to work with parents. It makes it easy for everybody, most of all the child. And I think that that's a great idea. So here's the deal. We've just got to be, like I always say, we have to be advocates for our parents, right? Education was written for a child who looked, acted, and performed a specific way. And that has nothing to do with race or anything else. It's just a child who looks, acts, and behaves and performs a certain way. Anything outside of that, we need to do something special for them. We need to divide up their homework and let them do it on the weekend, right? We need to, and we even in colleges now are understanding that children in college still need accommodations. We still have to accommodate people on jobs. ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, holds employers responsible for a lot of things as far as making the playing field equitable, okay, for everybody so that everybody can shine. I love this conversation. Thank y'all. Miss Irma says, yes, the homework is just enrichment of what was taught in class. So if they didn't catch it in class, and so everybody talks about new math. A lot of my parents will talk about that 3rd grade and that 5th grade math. And they're like, Dr. Brandon, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, I don't know either. We ain't got that far. And one of my best teachers left my school in 4th grade. So 4th and 5th grade stuff, I kind of struggle on a little bit anyway, because we ended up just kind of, we just kind of were teaching ourselves for a little bit there, right? So teachers, when you leave, and we're not saying that you shouldn't, but when you leave, your actions really do matter. And I know y'all think about that before you go, and you should go on and better yourselves. But I still to this day struggle, and I'm not ashamed to say it, right? Because I'm human and I keep it real, but I know how to count my money. But I struggle with my 8 and 9 times tables, because for some reason it was divided up, and we ended up learning it a little bit in 4th, a little bit in 5th or something. And that was the year that teacher left. And so we were just kind of out there trying to figure it out. Now, my kids, who are super smart, my 2nd grader, we had to have goals Sunday night. And out of the blue, he said, I'm going to learn my timetables this year. And I thought, well, good Lord, I don't know that I learned them in 2nd grade, but we got to work with what we got. That's what I got. So what's reasonable for him may not be what's reasonable for his classmates. And so hopefully his teacher will be able to adjust to that, and we will too, so that we can get him what it is that he needs. But yes, it is absolutely enrichment. Shelly, hold on, y'all, just a second. All right, y'all, we're in rare form around here in the Bowling household tonight. The boys are home from football. It is time for baths. And so right outside of the door where I sit, my office is a bathroom, and they like coming to this one, right? We have many bathrooms in this house, but this is the one that they come to. Does anybody feel what I'm going through right now? Does anybody feel what I am going through? Y'all, I won't even tell you how many bathrooms we got with tubs. But this is the one that they come to. Let us pray. All right, here we go. Let's see. Miss Shelley says it makes sense for sure. I was only thinking about homework, but yes, to live life, focus is needed more than just for schoolwork. Miss Shelley, I'm just going to leave that up there, because that right there is the basis of what I do all day long. Okay. Everything we do in life requires us to focus. Getting dressed in the morning, choosing the outfits. That's why we want to choose them at night, because if you get distracted, you won't get it out. Taking the trash out. When we're driving, we need to focus. When we are in premarital counseling, we need to focus. Before we say I do or ask somebody to say I do, we need to focus. We need to focus when we are at the lake with our teenage friends, because we may forget that we don't know how to swim and we forgot our life jacket. Okay, but we're going to get in anyway. They all know how to swim and they're wearing life jackets, and we don't make it back. We need to focus on not locking our keys in the car, or even better, locking our keys in the car with the keys in the ignition and the ignition running. There are so many things we need to focus on every single day. We need to focus on the fact that even though we put on that cape, we cannot fly. So jumping from up high on the banisters is probably not something that we should do. So absolutely, focus is so important. And so when people say to me, can we stop it on the weekends? That's an individual decision for every single child. And it may depend on the weekend and what's going on. If you're taking a wild child to Six Flags Over Georgia, then that wild child over at Six Flags Over Georgia may need their medicine, because you don't want to lose them. If you're hanging out and vegging out around the house, and the worst that they can do in your flat single level home is, slide across the floor in some socks like they're on a famous movie, then it may not be so bad. But that right there is the premise that a lot of parents, a lot of educators, a lot of doctors, especially pediatricians, will say, don't give it to them on the weekend. And I'm like, oh God, because that is definitely an individual decision. Good job. All right. Kalu says, I have learned to ask for examples from the teacher to help Collins, and I do a lot of Googling. Absolutely. I love Google. As long as when you go to Google, if you can say, no, that don't make sense, and back away, Google is an amazing tool. Yes, I teach my students how to multiply second semester to get them ready for third grade. So see, there you go. My son he's ready. So I don't know how he knew that, because I certainly didn't know that we were doing times tables in third grade, but here we go. He did win the math derby last year. So there we go. Amber Green says, Auntie, that's the best bathroom though. That is not the best bathroom, Amber. There are so many other bathrooms in this house. So many other bathrooms. So many other bathrooms. And they come to this one and they're loud. No, that actually is the smallest tub in the house. So I don't know why they come here. I'm going to get your comment off the screen, because no, ma'am. Let's see. Sarah Bridgman. I thought those was my kids. See what I'm talking about? They just loud. Why they so loud? Sierra, they are loud. But that's a cutie pie in there with you. Isn't that baby cute? These babies are loud over here. Okay, so I have to get up and close the door. Sissy says, but they pass one to get to that one. They do. They pass two. They pass two to get to this one. Lisa, motherhood. Miss Betty Jeffer says, it sounds like my house. See, somebody said we like that you keep it real. Well, again, I don't know how else to keep it. We are not robots over here. These are real life children. They are not hired actors. This is every day, every day. Miss Shelley says, I hate it, but I have to go, but we'll catch the rest on replay. Thanks for keeping it real, and just you're beautiful. And you're just beautiful. And I've been learning so much from you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for joining. Miss Shelley, where are you from? Where are you from? Tell us where you're from. All right, y'all. We got to get to the end. The last thing. All right. The last thing. Here we go. Going back to Dr. Nkirika. Our hours. H, work. Our hours. The W is where. Where we do it matters. So the hours are the time that you do it as soon as you hit the door. The W is where. Now, again, if your kid needs a snack, don't deprive them of that. Give them a snack. Let them go to the bathroom. But this is not the time to catch a movie. This is not the time to play a video game for an hour. Keep that same, as they say, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy from school. That's your hours. Your W is where. Do it at the same place every day. Okay? Off periods. Figure out what it is for your child. If it's 5 minutes, like Miss Shelley says, or 10 minutes, Miss Irma Gore says that we need to be doing about 25 minutes and then 5 off. Whatever it is that your child can do. I'm the type of person that I'm going to work until it's done. I'm going to take a break when I absolutely have to. But that's the type of stamina I have. Everybody may not have that. So figure out what is reasonable for your child. Look at how that worked out. Ain't that awesome? Okay, thank you very much. Now, Amber says, if I know I need to study on the weekends, I take my medicine. I can't get work done if I'm not. Also, taking my exam with my classmates is not going to work for me. I have to go to another room. And so Amber, we've told you, is working on her master's. And so thank you, Amber, for coming forth. So these moms can see that you don't just turn 18 and then all of a sudden you don't have ADHD or anything else for that matter, right? And so we need accommodations. We need whatever it is that we need so that we can get to where we need to be and we can shine. Oh, you're from Haleyville. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We love Haleyville. We love Haleyville. Okay. So the K, keenness. We want to increase keenness by decreasing distractions. How do we do that? We want to be in a place that is not like the bathroom that everybody uses. We want to be in a place that does not have a window that is open to the busiest street surrounding the house. Because we look up and we get distracted and we start counting the red cars. And so we wait for another red car. Is that a red car? Is that a red? I'll need 5 red cars and then we'll get back to work. But there are only 2 that pass. And so you spend 30 minutes waiting on a red car to pass. Okay, we need to make sure, as I think somebody said, my mama said, go to the bathroom before. But the other thing that you need to do in decreasing your distractions and increasing your keenness is that you want to have everything that their child needs right there. Like I said, I have everything right here. I'm very good at saying in my mind, okay, I'm going to need this, going to need this, going to need this, going to need this, and having it all when I come. Because again, when you get up to go get scissors, or you're doing a cut and paste experiment, the teachers told you you're going to cut these things from here and glue them over here. So that means you need scissors. But again, the child with ADHD, they don't have that organization and that planning ahead, that executive functioning. It's not there. So they're not going to do it. Okay. All right, what else can we do to decrease distractions? What else can we do to decrease distractions? TVs and radios and phones. Remember I talked about yesterday, if my mama saw me on the phone, she didn't ask any questions. She just assumed that homework had ended. And so that meant that when my phone time came, my phone curfew, which was 10 o'clock, 4 seasons a year, 365 days a year until I graduated high school. So if I was doing homework after 10 o'clock, but had been on the phone before 10, talking about stuff that was to her, not related to schoolwork, I couldn't do it. I had to get off. I had to shut it down, get that homework done the best way I can. Right. And so that's the level of discipline, right? Not how your parents interact with you, but the discipline that you want to instill in your kids. How is it that I can have so many different paying sources, so many different things going on, and manage them all? It's because very early there was some discipline that was instilled in me. You work first and then you play. That was how it was. And it may or may not be a good thing to think about it this way now, but if we go with that same theory, if you ran out of time, you didn't play. Now I probably am not a huge proponent of that idea now, but the idea is that we get our work done and then we go and we play and we have a good time. All right. Irma says the organization is very important. I teach my students how to become organized and reasonable for their materials. Absolutely. My first graders has a binder this year. My first grader, there's only one. He has a binder. It's called the SOS binder, and it is super organized student, and I like that, right? Because organization really is the key. Mama would say breakfast is the key. I'm going to say organization is the key to just a good life, right? And so again, children who have ADHD do not have that ability. Now you may be saying, well, Dr. Brandon B, you said that you can't even turn your computer around. How are you going to be telling these kids about being organized? Because what did my sissy say? I know where every single thing is. Very rarely will you find me not knowing where something is because I've lost it. I always know where it is. Someone with ADHD, they lose things. So their office may very well look like mine, but they have no idea where anything is. And so they're always asking somebody to give them something again. They've got to reprint something, look for something, ask somebody for something, because they have no idea where it is. They lost it. And in fact, losing things is one of the criteria for ADHD. All right. So increasing keenness, having everything you need, all your tools, all your supplies before you sit down. So in fact, when you set that timer for whatever it is that is reasonable for your child, then they will be able to stay there and do that. Because when they get up and walk away, they're going to sharpen pencils. They're going to play with their siblings. They might decide to take a bath, because that's what happens with ADHD, right? So my husband will get up in plenty of time, and then he'll start folding clothes and run late. And I'm like, but those clothes could have waited, right? They get distracted. They get super focused, hyper focused on things that are not important at that moment. Not important at that moment. All right. Any other questions? Any other questions for tonight? Any other questions for tonight? Did Dr. Encarica have to leave? Let me finish let me see if I can copy this. I don't know if I can. I can't copy that. Nope, I can't copy that. But there's our acronym H, work, and the K is increase keenness. Keenness, KEENNESS. Increase keenness. All right, by decreasing distractions. Decreasing distractions. Even if you have two children who are the same age in the same class, they may not be able to do their homework together. A younger sibling may definitely be a distraction. So, like with me, right? We changed Faith's school. And so typically my mom would get her, and she was in just daycare. She would pick her up at 5 or so, bring her home. The dynamics has changed because she gets out a little bit earlier than she did. And so she's home with us, and we're like, we didn't think about this, because now we have to figure out something to do with her while the boys are trying to get their homework. But we were day one kind of ready, and we're still kind of figuring that out because, like Miss Shelley said, it's new to us. But we'll sort it out, and I've ordered some things in. So when they're doing her homework, she'll have some stuff that she'll need to do as well. All right, let's see what else we got. Great information this week. Great format this week. Great format. Awesome. We like that. All right. What else we need to talk about? I want to talk about bullying, but as I said, Thursdays are my long days. So I know I won't be able to get over here with you all tomorrow night. And then when I'm done, it'll be like 9:30. And I know y'all will be in bed because y'all are, people that go to bed with the sun, and you get back up with the sun. So we will, I may see about doing something this weekend. We may talk about bullying this weekend, but I had something to come up that was brought to my attention. And I know bullying goes on, but we just need to really, I really want my parents who follow me to take a active stance against bullying by making sure that your children are not the bullies. If everyone could just start by making sure that their children are not the bullies, bullying would really go away. But there is something missing in a child who bullies another. And that kind of stuff starts at home, right? That child is bullying other people in the home, or they're witnessing someone bullying others, because remember, adults bully people too. So want to try to sneak that in, and we may just do that on Friday at noon, because I haven't gotten any questions yet for asking the psychiatrist. Anyway, any questions that you all have for me tonight about getting homework done? This was a very good discussion. I appreciate this. Any questions about getting homework done? Getting homework done, taking the work out of homework. All right. Well, if not, we are going to get out of here. I appreciate you all for coming. Kalu says, yes, madam, that is key. We talk about it. Absolutely. We have to talk about it at the first sign, and we really have to catch ourselves, right? Because we may be, we may say something about someone, but those ears are always perched up and listening. So we have to make sure that when we're talking about whoever or whatever, that those little tape recorders that are around us are not repeating what it is that we've heard, that they've heard. I'll never forget my Aunt Pam. Whenever someone would burp, she would say, "Excuse the hog." And my nephew went to school one day, and that was just what we did. Well, somebody burped in the class, and I'm not going to get these details exactly correct, but it'll be close enough. Somebody was in the class, and they burped. And I think as the teacher was trying to get by, and she may have been a little lady who was a little obese, my nephew said, "Excuse the hog." And it caused quite a situation in the classroom. You can only imagine. So we just do really have to be careful about what it is. If you're my Facebook friend, my personal page, you know that my little lady, I guess her teacher last year used to always say, "Be quiet," because I've noticed more and more that be quiet is something that she says all the time. Well, we're signing her in day one, and these little twins in front of her were just crying their eyes out. And before I knew it, she said, "Be quiet." And I thought, oh God. And the little teacher said, "Oh, she's just going to be such a good teacher. She's going to be my good teacher." And I thought, oh God, lady don't have to call me today about this one. So yeah, I have the same concerns y'all do. Oh Lord. But yes. Miss Dina says, wonderful information. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. I really take you all's comments and thoughts to heart and try to do what it is that's good for you, because it does not benefit me to come over here and just be talking, and it's not beneficial. Miss Betty Jeffer says it don't help that the school won't do anything. Yeah, and that is definitely something that is concerning. So it's really hard because you want to teach your kids to do and say the right thing, but at the same time, they can't let people run over them, because people will continue to do that. And what we're doing is setting up, people on the one hand who get used to bullying people, and on the other hand, people who get used to being bullied. And what you don't want is that mentality spilling over into all of their relationships, their intimate, romantic relationships, because unfortunately and sadly, domestic violence starts very young, at least in high school, if not before. And it's that type of, I'm going to just accept, I'm going to do whatever you tell me. It's that mentality, right? We will get to a situation where we have bosses that talk to us any kind of way and bully us, co-workers, right? And so we have to make sure that while we want them to do the nice Christian thing, that we don't allow people to take our kindness for weakness, right? All right, let's see. Amen, says Miss Irma. Amen, right? Amen. Okay. Well, if there is nothing else, I appreciate you all. I'm going to get out of here. Let's see what else we got. Auntie Brand is watching. Hello. We've got Brandy Lachey Schubert. Hello. So good to see you. So good to see you. Who else we got? Tan Howard is watching. Hello. All right, y'all. Tan Howard is also an educator. She teaches high school, I think 12th grade English. So we appreciate you for doing what it is that you do. I'm dealing with those half-grown people who are almost out of there. We've got Jameer Williams in the building. Thank you so much for watching all the way from the East Coast on the far, far, far side of Georgia. We thank you for coming in. All right, guys. Hopefully this was helpful. Again, we will not meet tomorrow at 6:30 because I will be working. But we will discuss bullying at some point before Monday comes again. We will meet Friday at noon, as we always do for Focus On It Friday. And then we will figure out what we're going to do from there. All right. So until next time, I'm Dr. Brandy B, your triple board certified pediatrician, adult psychiatrist, and child and adolescent psychiatrist. My husband is clapping. He's silly. All right. He says I'm pretty. Everybody needs a fan club, I suppose. All right. So let's see what else. So yes, I am Dr. Brandy B, your triple board certified child and adolescent psychiatrist, adult psychiatrist, and pediatrician. I'm your ADHD expert. I am the one who is here to try to show you that. Guess what? Physicians have kids who are loud and crazy, and they're running around, and they're in the bathroom that's closest to you when there are all these other bathrooms, and they are showing out when company is present. Yes, it is happening at my house just like it is at yours. That's what we're here to do. We are here to give you encouragement, whether you be a parent, a grandparent, a mother, a dad. We don't care. A teacher, an administrator. We want you to have everything that you need so that your kids can shine, like my book, Shine Understanding ADHD, so your child can be a star. Auntie Brenda says, thank you. Irma says, love you. Tan says, awesome. Miss Lovey Banks is here. We appreciate you, and she is giving us hearts. Miss Chiquita Walker says, I love these nightly talks. I'm always working on Friday and catch them afterwards, but you have been so informative to me. Thank you. Absolutely. And like I said, we are going to get our own little group. So all those people that just come and listen and don't want to talk and let people know that they are here, we're going to form our own little secret society. So they won't be able to come and listen to us. There's Priscilla. She's clapping. Thank you, Priscilla. That's my sister-in-law. That's Amber's mama, y'all. So we appreciate y'all for doing what you do. All right, I love y'all. I'm gonna get out of here. Go see where these kids are because they're quiet now. You know that means trouble. That's what my mama said, at least. I'll see y'all on Friday at noon. Have a good one. Bye. Oh, Tan. One more thing. You see my necklace? Okay, bye for real.